Hello, everyone. I would like for you guys to take a little bit of a philosophical journey with me as I start a series I'm a little excited about that I'm just going to title What If? So, I'd like to take a few bits of science and facts and then go beyond what we normally, think about and what we believe and just start speculating about certain things and go, what if? Now, I would like for everybody to, while they're watching this video, just put aside your personal beliefs on things when it comes to religion or perspective or certain mentalities and just go with me. Let's travel together. But I really want to dive into some speculation, some what ifs, some questions, and just say to ourselves, what if these things are true? And how does that affect us? And how can we affect the lives that we live and the way we see things, the way we interact with people, the way we interact with nature and the universe, and the way we interact with ourselves? So, I'd like to go into brainwaves. So let's just jump right in. Brainwaves go usually zero point 0.5 hertz to 25 hertz, but there are different frequencies. Delta going from zero point 0.5 to 4 hertz all the way to gamma, which is technically 25 to 140 hertz. There have been some conflicting conclusions that have come out from the scientific community and the question of how far out brainwaves actually come out of our heads. So some say it's dampened by the skull and there's nothing, and some say it comes out 6 inches, some say it could go out to 6 feet. Let's just say it's somewhere in between. Let's just say it's 2, 3 feet. Maybe. What if, right? Some people say that the frequency of these brain waves are nothing more than the engine's hum of your car, right? So let's just say that's right. And let's just say it's just a hum. It's a hum that we can pick up on. It's a hum that somehow we're connected with. So my aura, my hum, my mental hum can probably be picked up on a subconscious level from others. So let's just go with a what if right now. What if our brainwaves can communicate to other people around us what we're feeling and how we're feeling? Let's just go back for a moment and pull ourselves back. I just want to talk about brain waves. They become more organized depending on how well the brain is performing a task. So if you're starting a task that you're not necessarily accustomed with, your brain's going to try to organize itself, but it's not as great as if you've practiced that task 100 times. Whether it comes to accounting or playing pool or shooting a basketball or whatever you're concentrating on, whatever task that you're doing, your brainwaves actually organize themselves a little bit better. How well you're doing is completely affected by how organized your brainwaves are and vice versa. So let's just say that you're concentrating on a task like meditation, uh, even just regular self awareness. The more you do that task, the more organized your brain waves are going to be when doing that task. And the better that you get at it, the more organized. Now, the deltas happen usually during deep sleep, and the increased frequency is associated with increased levels of consciousness and concentration. I'm going to read something that I listened to, and I thought it was very interesting when it comes to this. It is possible to observe an individual with the naked eye and estimate at what speed their brainwaves are oscillating. A nervous person will have brainwaves at a high range, near 30 cycles per second or higher. A relaxed person will have brainwaves in the middle section, like a slow 10 to 12 cycles per second. Being able to sense a person's thinking speed is sometimes referred to as reading their vibes. As well, two people engaged in a conversation will naturally match their brainwave speeds so they are talking and thinking at roughly the same tempo. So You can subconsciously or even consciously tell where a person is by watching their brainwaves through a machine, but also through feeling it through their vibe. We can just tell that, as well as our brainwaves sort of match each other and come to a homeostasis when engaging in conversation with another person. So that just shows that my brainwave and your brainwave are affecting each other to the point where they're in sync when two people are communicating. Now, that just doesn't happen. Somehow, our bodies and our brains have to be able to recognize that or even feel that and just come to a certain synchronization with the other person. So, these are generalized, accepted facts. So, let's put the science out for a second. Let's say, what if? What if a person can manipulate that? Like, I'm speaking in a slower way, and my brain waves are at a slower way. And somebody who's a very high energy person who doesn't want to match my energy continues at their high energy. My brain now has to work towards matching that. So, in a way, we affect each other when we talk to each other, when we interact with each other. So, with that what if, let's be a little more conscious about how we interact with each other because it does have some sort of effect. And these are scientifically proven facts. It's also been proven through studies that dogs can be aware of a person's intent when they approach somebody or somebody approaches them. They can instantly tell if that person is a threat or has bad intent or good intent. And if you've been around dogs, you've pretty much seen this yourself anecdotally. They can detect aggression by observing cues given off subconsciously. The amount of our pupils dilating, they can sense these things. The pheromones that we're giving off, they can register these things scientifically through their noses, through their eyes. But let's just say, what if we also emit our brainwaves a little bit further and they pick up on that, just like we pick up on that? So it's not just humans, it's animals. Animals can sense these things as well. So what else can sense that? Could a tree maybe sense those things? I mean, we have scientifically proven certain things about trees and grass and plants where they can emit a pheromone when they're in danger. Like that's what the smell of fresh cut grass is the grass emitting a pheromone for the other trees to recognize that there's danger, that they're dying. So Jean-Pierre Barral and Alain Crobier in Manual Therapy for the Cranial Nerves, published in 2009, have said that brain waves are propagated along the perineural system and blend with this continuous current. The result is a powerful vector of homeostasis. Homeostasis is everything being the same. So the balancing force is a key element in tissue repair and probably in all internal recovery processes. According to this book, the brainwave will travel between the perineural system, which is basically right here, to the afflicted area. Like you can measure the wave, let's say, from your middle of your head to your knee, whatever needs um, healing at that point. See, and it's also written a patient's positive attitude is indispensable to healing. So let's just take that for a second because they've explained that it's evidenced by the placebo effect. If you guys don't know, placebo effect is a phenomenon that occurs when you take a test group and you split them in half and you give one of them a medicine for a certain ailment and the other you tell them it's a medicine for the ailment and it's just a sugar pill. The phenomenon lies in those people who didn't get the medicine um, still feeling positive beneficial effects from nothing, from just their thought, from just their positive thought or the idea that they're getting better. So the idea that they're getting better actually helps heal those ailments. Not all the time, but there's a large percentage of that do. So just thinking about healing, just thinking about mending your body, even if it's through subterfuge, actually has a beneficial effect, the effect that you want to have. Not on the same scale, but dude, your body didn't start healing itself before you thought that it was healing yourself. So you willed it into existence through your brain, through your brain waves. That's the power that brain waves have. So the positive attitude is where healing lies, in even tissue repair. And that's why meditation is important in any form. I had a good friend of mine used to tell me, you know what I do before I go to bed every night? I replay the whole day. I think about every interaction that happened. I want to see if I can learn about other people, about what their intentions are. I go through the conversations that we've had. I assess the conversations. I say to myself, could that have been handled in a different way? Was it handled the best way? How can I handle that type of situation in the future? He just goes through the whole day while he's in bed, ready to fall asleep, then falls asleep. That's meditation, dude. That's being aware of things and contemplating those things, focusing on those things in a medium in which there's relaxation. Meditation can happen in a multitude of ways. It doesn't have to be in a Buddhist monk stance with incense. And meditation is what you make it. And as long as you're assessing things in a relaxing way that brings growth and progress, and you're being self-aware and you're assessing things throughout the day, that's meditation. That's wonderful. It doesn't have to be one way. It could be whatever way you want it to be, but it's very important. There also have been studies done where being prayed for helped in a hospital setting, regardless of which God the person prayed to, whether it was Christian or Jewish or Muslim or whatever. Prayer is meditation with intent. Okay, you you put your religious beliefs to the side and just think of what it is. You're wishing and willing and asking something to heal this person. Even if the people who were ill didn't believe your religion or even didn't believe in prayer, still had better recovery than those patients that didn't get prayed for. So maybe it's a synchronization of brain frequencies, but it's basically the same positivity and the same healing that comes from the placebo effect. So if a person is not thinking about their wellness and you come in and you pray for their wellness, if you meditate for their wellness, if they know that you're doing that, and like in conversation, brain waves synchronize. Now they're thinking about healing. You're affecting them in a positive way. I also believe that negativity can be transferred the same way. So, what if everything I'm saying is true? Just what if, right? How does that affect how we interact with each other? Are you going to be a negative person and let those negative vibes come out and that negative aura affect the people around you? Or are you going to want your positivity and your positive vibes to affect other people and their positive vibes to affect themselves? Who do you have in your environment? Is it positive people who are lending you their positivity, or is it negative people bringing you down with them? There's another experiment that's been documented with water and with rice. Water, where you take a glass of water and you speak kind words to it, or you speak horrible words to it, positive and negative, and you freeze it, and you can see the makeup of that under a microscope. And the ones that you've spoken positive to are beautiful, and the one that you've spoken negative to, horrible. They did the same thing with rice, because rice absorbs water, Same effect in a sealed jar, the one that was spoken to, in a positive way, stayed fresher longer, like cooked rice. And the one that was spoken negatively to was darker and was getting to a point where it was going to be moldy. So even expressing that, the vibration of your voice, the frequency of your voice, the intent, that's again, what if our brain waves go out 2 or 3 feet? When you get close to that rice or that water and your mental intent is negative, it's going to affect things negatively. What if? So let's just take out your own belief system for a moment. Let's just look at what's going on here. Scientifically, brainwaves and intent have an effect on you and your own body, as well as others around you, as well as inanimate objects like cooked rice or water. So, what if, considering these things are true, that we interact with each other, with the world around us, whether it's nature or just the air? The things that we do, the things that we say, the things that we think have positive and negative consequences and reactions. So let's just say, what if everything I'm saying is completely, undeniably 100% true? How are you going to go about your life now? Good intent, positive brain frequency, self awareness, some sort of meditation, outward awareness, the idea of if you will it, it will happen, and self healing are all your responsibility to work on. For all of you, me included, to work on ourselves so that we can be self aware, so we can have our brain waves organize themselves to complete tasks better, to interact with people better, to have a more positive demeanor in how we approach the world and how we approach others, how we approach the trees and nature, everything, everything. The water you drink, if you're in a bad mood and those brain waves reach the water before you drink it, what are you putting in your body? Are you putting positivity or negativity? Everything that we do, I believe, should have a conscious effort to be positive. It's not always that easy. I know life can really fuck you up sometimes, but focusing on a positive side and trying to turn those negatives into positive and not letting that affect your demeanor and how you treat people and what you put in your body and how you practice meditation, self-awareness, all of those things really need to be an active, conscious part of our lives, because if not, subconsciously, we're going to lose all of the benefits that come with it. So if you think consciously positive, your brain will subconsciously think positive, put out positive, and receive positive. If you do it for negative, you're getting the same thing. So what kind of people are we surrounding ourselves with? Are these positive-minded people to help you achieve what it is that you need to achieve? How we do things affects who we are at our core. Have a good day, guys.